Please get ready for the passage. Madam, I rise firstly to support the Constitution Amendment Bill 1983, but I am not supporting the Representation of the People Bill 1988. I have got serious objections to certain provisions of the amending bill. Madam, you are quite aware, and the nation is also aware, that there have been frequent promises from the side of the government that the government is very serious about bringing about comprehensive electoral reforms. As a matter of fact, never has there been the occasion when the government really put into shape in concrete terms what it really means by electoral reforms. But so far as we are concerned, we put forth certain suggestions in specific form which may be considered as practical, viable suggestions, propositions, and ingredients to bring about appreciable changes in the present electoral system of our country. I do not venture to say that all the measures which we have suggested constituted the final ingredients for a complete and final reform of the electoral system in our country, because the concept of election changes with changing times. Since I do not have much time, I would not like to discuss it. But so far as we are concerned, we placed before the government certain ingredients which should be considered as inevitable propositions for bringing about certain changes in the electoral system. Those include, amongst others, acceptance of the principle of proportional representation, state funding of elections, elimination of money power and muscle power, stoppage of misuse of media, reduction of corrupt electoral practices, and impartial and independent election commission. Madam, I leave it to you and to the House. There was commonality of views on these items. On certain items, even the Congress party also expressed its commonness in their view. But please find out which of these components have formed a part of the present bill, barring 1 and 2. Anyway, at this stage, I want to say something about the comments made by my friend, particularly in regard to proportional representation in India. He has a misconceived idea, and he is ignorant of the electoral history of this country. Number one, is it a fact that always the Muslims voted for the Muslims, or that always the Hindus voted for the Hindus? Had it been the case, I think many of us would not have seen the chamber of this house, either this or that. A large number of people, I think majority of the people, are still not infected by communal ideas. They are very much secular so far as they exercise their voting right. But here, once you accept the principle of proportional representation in our electoral system, you are encouraging communal forces, you are dividing India communally. I do not find any rationale in this idea. If we have to accept this, then, Madam Deputy Chairperson, then you have to negate the history of your party. The Congress party did not get the votes of a particular section or a particular community. People voted for the Congress party on secular ideas, not on communal ideas. Therefore, it is not that idea. If that idea is there, I think it needs severe condemnation. It is you who encourage communal feelings in the electoral processes. My friend has rightly pointed out that the concept of proportional representation is based on arithmetic might. We want proportional representation because it has been our experience that some party, particularly the Congress, has occupied majority of the seats on the basis of minority votes secured by them. Few members are elected to this house or that house or in any other electoral process securing the majority of the total votes. If you want really to judge the will of the people, if you want to have democracy based on the will of the people, the majority of the people, the present system does not fulfill that objective. You get elected, even I get elected, not on the basis of the majority of the total votes, but on the basis of the minority of the votes. I think everybody will agree that this cannot be a sound principle of democracy. I don't say that there may be means and modes of proportional representations. There cannot be a cut and dried mode of proportional representation. What we want is that the government should accept the principle of proportional representation so that there can be reflection of the people's will proportionately. Therefore, I am rather very much disappointed with the comments made by my friend. Please allow me to make this comment. As a matter of fact, these are not at all electoral reforms. It is rather a caricature of reforms. On the other hand, this amending bill puts certain impediments on political parties in our country. I would give only two examples. One is registration. You will find there are lots of information to be given by a political party to the commission, and the political party will bound to furnish that information to the election commission.